Hey everybody, it's Mark Pruitt with Strategic Estate Planning Services for another update. Hope this video finds you well. Can you believe that the end of the year has already occurred and we are now starting a brand new year? So let me be the first to welcome you and say happy 2022. I pray that this year will be a year of health and safety for you and your family. It's been an interesting 2 years, hasn't it, between 20 and 21. But I truly feel that there are some new normals. We won't go into all of that. You're probably having to have a few new normals as well in regards to your life and family, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Let me try to give you a couple of things that I think that we want to make you aware of that's, one, some we're in the process of, two is a little bit of history, and then three, markets and where they are going. So first off, let me tell you, we are in the middle of reviews right now. We started that in December. We've gotten a lot of reviews done. If you have already called in for your review, we've already had it. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it very much. Hopefully you found that review helpful for you and your family. If you have not called in, then I would encourage you to call in, email. You can do admin@seps4u.com. So admin, A-D-I-M, at seps4u.com. And that would be helpful just to let Laura know that you'd like to set up a time, whether that's if you're out of state or even if you're in state and you want you want a phone call review, then we'll set that up and have that ready for you and be more than happy to do that. If you're want an in-person review and you're here local and you'd like to do that, then call, same thing. She'll get you on the schedule. We'll be more than happy to visit with you. We'll bring some things to the table with you in that review that will be very important in a holistic, comprehensive way, things such as beneficiaries. We never want to forget beneficiaries, especially if they're small accounts. You say, well, I've got this little account that's a credit union account and it's got, $400 or $500 in it, and you've left it in your name as an example, and you haven't put it in your trust or you haven't given a beneficiary to it. We want to make sure we cover that, because if you don't, what I have found in the past, those little accounts, if you have one or two of those, it costs you more to go through probate than it does to just pass it down to your heirs with a beneficiary. So we want to make sure we have all of these things covered, whether it's long-term care topics, if there's health changes that have occurred in your family that affect you and your family, and you want to talk about those things, bring those with you, those questions with you. Write them down ahead of the review and make sure that you get those questions asked. We'll give you that opportunity, of course, to be able to get that done. But call in for the review. Our goal is to get all of those done in January, February of 2022 and have those completed. We're going to do an hour per review. And then if we uncover things that we need to do some homework on for you, or some things that we need to give you some homework on, then we'll do that and reschedule for a second meeting with you to get those specifics answered. So the first meeting is just a big, broad overview to make sure we've got a lot of things covered. After that, we'll drill down for a second meeting. So thank you in advance for calling and getting that set up. You'll probably get some more emails from Laura as well, maybe some phone calls as well, just to make sure we get everybody scheduled. So thank you for your patience on that. In regards to Christmas sales, that has now come out. So we're going to shift a little bit on some data. In regards to Christmas sales, what's happened in the total sales across all genres has basically up this year about 10.7%. So that's actually been a good thing. Last year, online ruled the day. But when you take it and mix it all together, whether it's in stores, whether it's online, total sales were up about 10.7 for the nation. So that's a good thing. That means, what does that tell us? People are still spending. People are still ordering things. There's still some backlog in some of the things that we're getting. That's going to continue to happen, but it is slowly getting better. The word slowly, I think, is important to know. But that does affect markets. And so what we see, which is the third thing I wanted to talk about, is where do we think we're going to go in regards to markets? Markets This coming year, I'm not going to give you the entire year. What I'm going to give you is the first quarter and the second quarter. We feel like the first quarter will still be either green or what they call a contracting red, which means you'll begin to see some shifts. It won't be all at once, but you'll begin to see some shifts and some drawdowns within the market. We do feel like the second quarter that there will be what we would call a quad 4, which is a red. That is an absolutely contracting market. That is not a crash, but that is something where you will begin to see markets shift. And so what I'm telling you that for is there will be things that you're in now that we will not want to be in by the time that second quarter hits, which creates the red zone, as we call it, the quad 4. I won't go into the detail of all of that. I'll spare you all of that detail of why we feel that way. If you want to know that, you can get with me, and I'll be more than happy to just give you all of that information. But it's a lot of data. It's the easiest way to say it. It's a lot of data that comes in and a lot of measurement that comes in that where we can pretty comfortably say the second quarter of this year will be more of a downturn. And so what we do with investments is there will be things that we will go to that you are not in now. Things that don't work in this environment will work in a different environment. And so we're already preparing for that. We've been meeting regularly to have that shift ready to go. We've already made a couple of shifts, I can tell you right now, that we've just put in orders today to get out of and to get things set up to go into. And so just keep that in mind that we're looking at all of this. It's not business as usual. We still think the first quarter will be a decent quarter, but that second quarter is what we're going to begin to prepare for along the way. If you've got questions on any of that, obviously, let us know. But that's as far as we're going to go the first 2 quarters. After that, by the time we get to the end of the first quarter, we'll probably know more about the third quarter. But we're going to give that to you basically in a 6 months outlook coming for 2022. If you've got any other questions that you need or that you have, please don't hesitate. That's what we're here to do, is to serve you and to serve your family. And whether it's Morgan, Stephen, Lamar, myself, any of us, don't hesitate. If one of us are not available, then ask for another one, and we'll be more than help you. Because remember, you've got a team that is helping you, and that's important. It's not just an individual, but the team. God bless to each one of you. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for your trust in us, and we look forward to serving you in 2022.